Hello, beautiful. How are you? And how are you taking care of yourself today? I am Heidi Esther, author, speaker, and joyful purpose mentor. What does that even mean? Someone who can help walk with you and guide you through all of life's messy roadblocks, like people pleasing and guilt, and what we're going to talk about today, regrets, and being too stressed to enjoy life, or too busy to enjoy life, or just plain stuck. Because why? Because you matter, because your joy matters, because you came here with a specific, beautiful, amazing package, and you are worthy of feeling that joy and that flow that comes when you are joyfully creating with life. All right. So today, we are gonna talk about something that's a bit of a challenge I know it was a very big joy block for me. Regret. I know, just even saying that, like, whoo, like completely deflates me, right? Because we have things in our life that we look back on and we wish would have gone differently or better or worked out more nicely or with our expectations, but didn't. So I am going to start with a story. Obviously, the story is about regret. And then the story is called An Illness. And then we are going to move into a new kind of freedom shower. I have created a freedom shower before when you have like a challenging feeling you want to free yourself from. But I specifically changed the freedom shower and called it the freedom shower of no regret. And that I'm going to share with you. And if you want the printable afterwards, all you got to do is comment and send me your email and I will send you the freedom shower, the free from regret steps. All right. So if you are joining or watching the replay, please let me know how you are and how you're taking care of yourself today. Me, I had a very brave meeting today, and I also had a very challenging conversation with one of my friends. And so I'm going to take care of myself by doing some journaling after I do this workshop. All right, here we go. In the middle of the night, I darted up in my bed, clutching my new fleecy Winnie the Pooh blankie. Oh God, Jonathan, you scared me, I said, wiping my eyes. The streetlight's orange glow outlined my little Blondie in his favorite plaid jammy pants, clutching his tattered blankie. Mommy, I'm cold, my 7-year-old son said, like he has laryngitis, and my throat hurts. Let me see your head, sweetheart, I said, and helped him on the bed next to me. Well, your hands are pretty cold and sweaty. I call that clammy, I said, and gave him a squeeze. As my hand neared his forehead, something inside of me told me what was wrong. Strep throat. Earlier that week, I got an email from his school warning that it was going around. After taking his temperature, which was only slightly elevated, and giving him some pain meds and juice, I laid back in bed. That's when I noticed a new familiar friend, Dr. Dread. Like a cannonball in my stomach, Dr. Dread was never far behind any ailment or activity my kids wanted to participate in. I stared at the orange glow on my ceiling, shadows of leaves and branches wavering in the night breeze. My mind was like the wind, blowing around in the dark, trying to blow away the impossibly heavy Dr. Dread. Why Dr. Dread, you ask? Well, in case you didn't know, in a joint custody divorce, parents have to agree on like everything. So like the big stuff, schools, religion, and the parenting time split, down to the minute little details of after school activities and if they get flu shots, which also means a joint decision has to be made if they go to the doctor. So, unless you plan on divorcing like your best friend, I personally don't recommend joint custody. Maybe I'm the issue. I would describe myself as a recovering helicopter parent. Yes, I am swaddling my kids with extra love and care during the divorce transition, but I'm also letting them get some bumps and bruises, mostly by going to their dads and staying up too late because they're having so much fun. But I would describe their dad, at least right now, as someone who is angry. But Dr. Dread isn't just from his anger in reaction. It's also from his co-parenting decisions. Like every single opinion he has seems to be made like in spite of me versus like for the kids. So I know I'm not supposed to take it personally and keep focused on the kids, which is hard when someone you used to share a bed with is yelling at you in the face. I even took a co-parenting class, which actually made me feel less hopeful about my current situation with joint custody. I guess I'll have to call my ex tomorrow to see if I can get Jonathan into the doctor. Some new possibilities crossed my mind. Maybe I could try like reverse child psychology. Pretend I don't care if Jonathan goes to the doctor. Or maybe I could just forget to call my ex and keep my son at home. Neither of those sound good to me, though. And some old familiar voices chime in. Why does he have to be like that? Why is this happening to me? How come we always have opposite opinions? How come I'm the one always compromising and he's the one pushing the envelope? All my tiny seeds of hope crushed and blown away, and only Dr. Dread remains. I doze off and dream that I'm falling. I wake up with a start at the crack of a gray dawn. 2 days later, I register my son with a temp of 102.5 and get permission from his dad to take him out of school and to the doctor. My son had, you guessed it, strep throat. Alrighty. So that is the story of Dr. Dread. Dr. Dread followed me around and around during my period of having joint custody in my joint legal custody in my divorce. So it wasn't just dread of things that would happen. It was also combined with a heavy load of regret of not speaking up for myself, for not speaking up to try to influence the decision in different ways. Like every time a decision was or wasn't made, like sometimes my ex just wouldn't respond, or he'd respond with like something outlandish. Kind of like if someone pointed at your grass and said, no, the grass is purple, and then they wouldn't budge. So I had so much regret over things that I could have said differently or should have said differently. All of this, a heavy load of regret during that phase of my life. So what can we do when we have this regret, like things that we regret not doing or not saying? So I'm going to take you through the 5 steps, and hopefully that gives you a little nugget of some tools. So it's called the freedom shower of no regrets. So there's going to be a lot of analogies to shower here. So put on your bootstraps, or shall I say, get out your towel. The universe has a flow for us. it has a way, like sometimes when you just feel like you're effortlessly living life and everything's just kind of like going along, you're kind of going along with the flow and you're just kind of like in the moment. It's like you're enjoying every little morsel. So the universe is kind of like that. It has like a flow for us. And that flow includes blocks in the flow. Why would the universe plan blocks for us? Why aren't we just made to just kind of live in the flow? Here's the answer. Because you were made to learn certain lessons. Honestly, like if I don't learn certain lessons, if I don't let failure be my teacher, I don't learn stuff. I went around for a good chunk of my life thinking that maybe I just knew it all and I was a very closed person and not curious at all, and which is very sad because curiosity is awesome. But I wasn't in the flow at all. I wasn't learning my lessons to get to that next step and next step, and eventually to unlock that joy, that joyful purpose, that joyful flow. You deserve that joyful flow. Everyone deserves to be in that joyful moment. And so regret is one of those blocks in the flow. So when we have regret, it's because we need to learn something. We need to do something. We need to take some action. Yes, it's important to feel our feelings, but this is like an action step. So the first step is to just recognize that we all got lessons to learn to find that beautiful, joyful flow that we deserve in our lives. Okay, step 2, the soap of amends. So the next is to just like metaphorically wash our body and apologize. If there's something that happened or something you said that you know that you need to apologize for, do it. In my situation, I didn't do any apologizing because my regret was my regret solution was in the next step. So sometimes we regret things because we made a mistake, and we all make mistakes, and we're human, and it's okay. It's okay. That's how we learn and grow. So apologize. And if the person you hurt was yourself, give yourself some TLC, some tender love and care. Step 3. It's called the Improve Shampoo. Sometimes regret, if it's not involving a personality, needing to apologize, it's a teacher, and so it can teach us and show us a different door to open to improve some part of ourselves. So say someone's upset with you about your relationship, you can work to improve some part of your relationship skills, or improve some part of how you look at the world. So in my divorce period where I had joint custody, I took a class, and basically the class said the only person you can improve is the co-parenting class said the only person you can improve is yourself. And so the great news is it said, all right, take the lens off the other person or the situation and put it on yourself, and how can you improve and be okay with yourself in this situation. So really my situation, I had to learn how to speak up for the needs of my children, because they were getting sick a lot because it was a very stressful time. I was also getting sick a lot, and they weren't getting to the doctor. And so I finally instead of regretting, like, oh my God, my kid stayed sick for this long, and I regret, I said, what can I do about this so it doesn't happen in the future? And I took action. I documented, and I went for sole custody. I improved myself and my feelings of how I want to show up as a parent for my children. And I really worked at that Improve Shampoo. So sometimes it has to do with kind of looking in and saying like, yeah, you know what? I'm not perfect and it's okay. And how can I show up better next time for myself or for others? So, Improve Shampoo, that's a big action step. I know. Okay. So, I couldn't decide whether or not to put this next step before or after the Improve Shampoo, but I put it after. The Forgiving Face Wash. So, improvement is hard. It means, and apologizing is hard. It means admitting that you're not perfect or you didn't do things perfectly or right or correctly or 100% or whatever. It's okay. You're human. And now is the time to forgive yourself, to give yourself some grace, to say, oh, I didn't really, I said that and now I regret it. Okay. So next time I'm going to think before I speak, and I'm going to forgive myself for what happened, because I did all that I knew how to do in that moment. So you have to forgive that person of yourself, that version of yourself, even if that was like a 5 minute ago version. So forgiving that version of yourself sets yourself free to move ahead. So if you can't forgive yourself and you're stuck in that moment, you're going to stay stuck, and you're going to stay stuck in the past, and you're going to let all of that regret, you're going to drag all that negative energy, that heavy energy with you. And I had all of that wound up, all that energy wound up in Dr. Dread. So it took me a while to forgive myself, but it was easier once I decided how I was going to improve. It's like, I'm going to do this for me and for the kids, and I'm going to speak up, and I have to do these hard things. And once I started doing those hard things, I forgave myself for not having spoken up earlier. And in the future, I'll probably be sharing the story with my kids, and also letting them know, apologizing for not speaking up earlier as well. It's hard. It's a hard thing. But forgiveness is key. It's one of the keys to freedom, to freeing yourself from regret. So, step 5. So once you forgive yourself, you could get to a place of kind of accepting what happened, what you said, what you did. You've forgiven yourself. You're taking your action steps. You can kind of step back and wrap yourself in a towel of accepting that is just your path and your flow, and you removing your blocks in your flow so that you can find more joy. So that is the freedom shower of no regret. I would love to know if you had any aha moments or moments of inspiration. I would love to know if you liked any of the steps: the soap of amends, Improve Shampoo, Forgiveness Face Wash, the Universal Flow, or the Acceptance Towel. I would absolutely love to know. And if you make a comment below, I will get in touch with you to send you the printable of the Freedom Shower of No Regret. All right. And today, and I don't know why I haven't been doing this, but I'm going to forgive myself and do it going forward. I have the Snowman of Affirmation, as also seen on Live with Heidi and Heather. And I'm going to pick an affirmation for you to hold in your heart as you think about leaving regret in the past. Okay, and this is a good one. Okay, here you go. I am direct and honest. Okay, so the Snowman of Affirmation is saying that maybe one of the keys of leaving regret in the past has to do with being direct and honest. I feel like the Snowman of Affirmation is like so wise sometimes. It's like crazy. So, yeah. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this play shop. If you want the printable, just get in touch with me below this video. And All right, here are I have some quick announcements. So I am going to be taking a break from lives in July and most of August. And that's 2022. But I am in a summit. It's called the Midlife Makeover Summit, and it has some fabulous giveaways, and it's free, and it's online summit. You can watch the videos. There's a lot of very like spiritual entrepreneurs and transformational life coaches and all sorts of fun people who are part of this midlife makeover summit. I am contributing a story about brownies and guilt and a fun printable to get your life free from guilt. So if you want to get information about the summit, you can just sign up and you get a free joy guide if you do at HeidiEsther.com/joy. All right. It has been lovely sharing space with you today. Wishing you love, light, and laughter. Until next time, I'm Heidi Esther.